This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married. And if the child's father is pressing the issue that bad, why y'all not already married?
Do not give your child his father's name if you're not married. That's the conversation we are having in today's video. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? You got Maria David and I'm back again with another interesting video. So she came to our TikTok page, just sharing a popular opinion, just saying that if you're not married to a particular man, both of you are not married, there's no point giving the child that you have for him, giving his last name to the child. It doesn't matter, you shouldn't do it. It's just our own opinion. But then I would like to know your own opinion about this down in the comment section. I have interesting stitches to share with you all. A lot of people came for her and were like, why would she say that? You know, it's not only women that have a child, you know, the child belongs to the men and the women, blah blah blah. Why would you say the child shouldn't have the father's name, blah blah blah? Like, people came for her. Anyways, I'd like to know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section while I roll the stitches for you all to watch, and I'll see you all at the end of the stitches.
Popular opinion, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
I 1000% second this. When I was pregnant with Marjorie, at first I was going to give her dad's last name. When I had Marjie's dad ended up not coming to the hospital. So I was like, you're not here to sign any documents. You're not here to see her, and she was just born. And you've been acting up the entire pregnancy. 100% she's having not your last name. I ended up giving Marjorie my family's last name, which is Smith. My last name is not Smith. My mom gave me my dad's last name. So I'm a Warner. But oh Lord knows that I want to be a Smith so bad. I've been wanting to be a Smith since I was young. So I did not want to give my children a last name that I myself didn't want. So I gave them my family's last name, which is Smith. The new baby number 2, also will be a Smith. From the very beginning of this pregnancy, I had already said that this baby would also be a Smith. I even told that to the dad, like, she's going to be a Smith, period, point blank. Of course, he pressed the issue of it, like, no, I really want, you know, the baby to have my last name. We didn't even know what the baby was going to be. But I had already said the baby will be a Smith. Of course, both of them were salty, but at the end of the day, I'm a single mom. Both of my children are going to be Smiths, period, point blank.
Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
So I don't know if this young woman knows that marriage is not to marry your kids, right? However, in the same breath, I really wish that women would stop using children as pawns. Like, that is the lowest of the lows. If you want to get married that bad that you want to use a child as a pawn, you don't deserve no kids. You don't deserve to be married. Sorry.
Popular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
Or, hear me out, this might be crazy. You don't have a baby with that man if y'all not married. And vice versa. You don't have a baby with the girl if you're not married either. I don't know. Maybe that's just a unpopular opinion. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? What do I know?
Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
This is just me thinking out loud. But how about you ladies stop getting pregnant by men who haven't made you their wife? Y'all don't even wait till the man give you an engagement ring. I guarantee you, if you wait until marriage to start having babies, that'll solve a lot of problems that we have today. I'm just saying.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name.
Don't have the child if y'all are not married. And you can tell a lot by the way he responds when you tell him you're pregnant. Just don't have the child if y'all are not married. And if he responds in a crazy way, if you tell him you're pregnant, probably should stop messing with him, period, point blank.
Popular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
I'm going to answer this real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Your statement already started off wrong when you say your child. It takes both. The baby belongs to both of y'all. So it's his child also. Then you say, if he wants the child to have your name, why y'all not married? If you did not want to give that child a man's last name before you got married, then you get married first. But you don't have a child and then say, well, because we're not married, I'm not going to give my child or our child the last name. And last but not least, y'all got to remember, a child is not a pawn. He's not a pawn. He's not yours. It's y'all's. Do not separate the child. Let him know his siblings, his bloodline. The bloodline. You choose that father. Both of y'all are parents. Do not make that decision off of getting married. Or you should have got married first. Yeah. Just my opinion.
Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
Why? In the 21st century, in the year of 2023, in America, what significance do having the mother or the father's last name have? And enlighten me, if you will, because I really want to understand. Just as an American from African descent, understanding how we got here through transatlantic slave trade and how we were given American names and the last name of the slave master for ownership purposes. What significance does the last name have for us, generally speaking? Now, I do know and understand that your surname, your last name, can have, can tie you to your lineage and your ancestry. But I don't think that is relevant to African American people. Like, I can understand a little bit more if we were, like, in Europe in the 1800s or on whatever continent, in whatever country recognized your economic status by your last name. But I do believe that's outdated. I could be wrong because I'm not sure. But again, what relevance, what significance does your last name play? Now, of course, there are some families in America that we know based on the last name, but I'm all for following Malcolm X and just dropping the last name altogether. And then realistically speaking, if you have children, if you have a daughter, and you give your daughter the father's last name, and she grows up and gets married, more than likely she's going to drop that last name anyway. Like, I just want to understand the point of the statement, and I want to be enlightened. So if someone can explain it to me, please.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name.
Also, a rule in the hospital should have been, if the father is not present, the baby has to take the mother's name. You don't ask Gerber.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name.
That's the dumbest shit in the world. Dumbest shit in the world. First thing, you shouldn't have a child with a man if the marriage means that much in terms of giving him the child the last name. Like, you just shouldn't have the child. But And I know that laws in states are different and stuff like that, but it's like, if you don't, the only way the child gets the last name is if he comes to sign the birth certificate. So if you don't allow the child to have his last name, what if he dies? How does your child inherit from this man if he dies? I mean, it's still possible, I guess, to make that connection depending on what state you live in after the guy dies. How does he inherit from that man though? Also, how do you collect Social Security benefits from that man if you don't establish the paternity? Like, I just... please make it make sense to me, because that is the dumbest shit in the world, to be like, don't give a child their father's last name if y'all not married. It seems like you bitches should do better selection of who y'all decide to have kids with. Because that just doesn't make sense to me.
Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
Giving the child the father's last name ain't got shit to do with you. Children should have their father's last name. It's not just for the purpose of having the last name. If anything was to ever happen to that father and you went down to try to draw benefits for that child, you would have to prove that the fucking child even belonged to the father. I mean, what the fuck do the kid having his father's last name have to do with any motherfucking thing? Is it maybe the issue that you don't have a man's last name? Because if the child shouldn't have the father's last name because y'all not married, why the fuck would you lay down and conceive a child with somebody that you're not married to?
Opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
Or, still me, don't have a child with somebody you're not married to. Yeah, stupid.
Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
I think it's real ironic how me and my man was talking about earlier that I was a hopeless romantic in high school, that I always had a boyfriend, never could keep a boyfriend because I had higher standards for myself. And a lot of the people I used to be like this, thick as thieves with, had kids and not married. Not a wife. Me personally, I couldn't see myself doing that. And you miss out on a lot of financial opportunities by being joint together in the first place. So with that being said, like, now you have kids and there's a lot of benefits of your kids legally having like a dedicated spouse to your life. And yeah, I don't think our generation understand that. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name if y'all are not married.
No, I gotta speak on this one. There's a lady where I'm not able to stitch her video, but I was able to stitch the original video. But I agree with the stitched video, which is going along with the original video, which is basically saying don't give your baby the man's last name if you're not going to marry him or if you're not married. And the lady that stitched it was basically saying, I have one even better. Let's not give these people kids if you're not married. And I 100% agree to a T. I have these conversations with my husband, my dad, his family, any man and any woman that I can speak to about this, I will. Specifically in the Black community, baby mama titles and baby daddy titles have become so normalized that a lot of people rather be a baby mama than be the mother of the child. Or better yet, they'd rather be a baby mama than be the wife. That, I don't know, but something about that just irks me. It irks me. Because if we understand that what women go through with pregnancy, postpartum depression, and then raising the kid and being a single mother 9 times out of 10, I'm sorry, not even 9 times out of 10, about, I'll say 7 times out of 10, because I am not going to say that there are not men out there that are willing to raise these babies, because there are. They're out there. There's a lot of them. They're out there. But there are so many women that are willing to sleep with these men, get pregnant by them, knowing damn well they're not going to be there. And then you give them their last name, and then they start, you start this little hatred towards that child because the father ain't there. And now they have their last name. They probably act like the daddy too. They maybe even look like the daddy too. And that's just a reminder. Now, I'm not saying that's all women, but that's a lot of cases and a lot of people on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any social media. You can look up the stories and it's prominent. It's there, specifically in the Black community. Sex has literally been so normalized till this day that people do not believe in marriage. And that is sad. It's heartbreaking. I'm 23 years old and I got married to my husband last August. I am very grateful and very, very happy that I was willing, and not even just willing, that I was able to get married and that a man wanted to marry me for who I am. But even then, going off of me being married, we're still not having kids until we're 30, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 years old. And the reason why is because we're not fully mature enough to have these babies yet. We're not. We're 23 years old. Not saying that 23-year-old women out here that are having these babies, not all of them are not able to take care of them and be mature, but a lot of cases follow into the statistic, unfortunately. And it's because sex has become so normalized. Contraceptives are not normalized like they should be. And everybody's popping out a baby. Now, the baby is not going to have a good life 9 times out of 10 until they get of age of growing into their own person and understanding their boundaries and stuff like that. But even then, it's the fact that in the United States, specifically in the Western community, that sex has been so normalized, baby mama, baby daddy has been so normalized, and toxic households have been so normalized that I don't know what can happen for us to get back to where we should be. Not even get back to where we should be, go where we should be. People should want to have long-lasting relationships with the person that they want. But when you give a child to somebody, that is serious. Whether you was just doing it for fun, y'all was fooling around and you wound up pregnant, or it was intentional. It's still very serious. And unfortunately, when it comes down to it, the women take the heat. So my whole point of this little rant is be careful who y'all having sex with, and don't try to get pregnant or do whatever you can to not get pregnant by these men that are showing you that they are not even able to take care of themselves. So what makes you think they're gonna take care of a baby? They don't even answer to you, always have you on do not disturb, sometimes block your ass, sometimes unfollow you, won't even speak to them for 2 weeks, but you want to give them a child? If that doesn't speak delusion, I don't know what will.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name.
You stupid ass cunt. That's what's wrong with y'all motherfuckers now. Motherfuckers be having dads and shit out there and y'all swap the names around. Then your grandkids end up fucking each other because they thinking they something different. But they actually have the same motherfucking dad, granddad and shit like that. They actually cousins and shit. Do that shit make sense? Fucking cunt.
This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not give your child the father's last name.
If you have not finished watching that video, please go back and watch her whole video. But let me just say this. I 1,000, 1 trillion times agree with what she is saying, because 9 times out of 10, I'll even say 8 times out of 10, it is the mother's side of the family that will be helping and assisting with the raising and the rearing of that child, not the father's side. Not only not the father's side, but not the father. So to continue on his lineage, to allow his name to grow into more generations, it's crazy to me. Give that baby your daddy's last name. Give that baby your daddy's last name, because that's the family that is taking care of that child.
If you're still here, kindly put your thoughts, your comments, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinions are accepted if you put them down respectfully. So we're talking about, naming a child the father's name if you're not married to him. For me, if you're not married to someone and you have a child for him, I don't think you should give the child the father's last name. Just my own opinion. I know some people don't agree with that, but just my own opinion. I think it should be like your own decision, not just that. If you want to give the child the father's last name, then do it. But if you don't, the child, I feel like the child belongs more to the mother than to the father. That is why most of the time we see single mother. It's very hard for you to see single father. You know, it's always single mother, this, single mother, this. I'm a single mother of 3, I'm a single mother of this, you know, I'm a baby mama. So most of the time the child belongs to the mother. So if the mother decides that, you know what, I'm not married to you, I'm not going to give this child your last name. If the man wants the child to have his name, then he should marry the woman. You know, that's just my own opinion, okay? I know even people in the stitches were like, they were saying, even in the comment section were like, you shouldn't, first of all, you shouldn't even have a child for someone you're not married to. That is that. But anything can happen. And there was something one of the stitch said, when you're pregnant and you tell your partner that you're pregnant, his response alone will determine if you should keep the child or not. And if he's like, okay, he's not bothered, then why keep the child and now still name the child his name? If that makes, he already sure that he's not interested in the child's life. So why are you? It's like you're forcing him on the child, and he doesn't want it. So for me, I would say yes, you don't have to name your child the father's name if you're not married to him, and unless you just want it, like, okay, this is what I want this child to have this man's name. As a mom, you should do that, but it should not be like a compulsory something that it has to be like, okay, yes, this is the way it's supposed. And that's just our own opinion. But then let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, kindly put your comment, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinions are accepted in this channel if you put them down respectfully. And thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and kindly turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload another interesting video like this one. And I'll see you all in my next video.